In this video, I will be breaking down my wrestling, my goals for the upcoming year, a new sponsor, and my wrestling schedule for the 2023 to 2024 wrestling season.
It is Tuesday, October 17th now. It's officially just about 2 weeks away. Officially about 2 weeks away from our first wrestling duel versus Whitewater. But we're just about to go to practice here. Now you might see me rocking with the Gfuel. This is the brand new sponsor on the channel. I'm gonna talk about this more in a little bit. I only got water in here right now, mainly because I already had a Gfuel this morning, but let's get this practice in.
So I'm going to commentate this practice. Looks like we got Easton as the partner today. Wearing those green XEOs. Right away, we're going just with the warm-up, trying to hit our shots down, getting that perfect form in, just hitting that high C here, getting cracked down, working on my finishes there because odds are I end up there a decent amount a bit. Single legs. Oh yeah, there's a little reminder to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Working on my drags too. That's a big thing I've also been working on. I'm not like getting like so deep on the drags, but this is a weird fireman's. I actually found out that you can like, instead of going like in the crotch, like you literally hold the ankle like in a reverse grip and you dump off, which is really weird. But that's interesting. I've been working a lot on this reverse grip too, just from the tie here, and this trick right here. I did it bad here. That was like one of my first attempts trying it, but in reality, the guy would like get his foot swept from under him and he'd go crazy. I think I have to lift that higher. Here, just working on kind of misdirection there, shelving the knee, getting that form in there. And this is another one too. I've been getting onto a shot and then basically I'm just using my momentum going the same way, but just getting his weight off balance and I'm cutting the corner on that angle. So I've been doing that. I've been seeing positive results in there. Here on this kind of hip to hip whizzer position, Nick actually showed us some tricks here in a little bit. One for Easton where he pretty much just hops over, catches me on my back, and then one for me, which I just pretty much don't go to that position and I arm drag out. We did a lot of top and bottom this practice, and this is one of the bottom live goes I would say that was pretty scrappy here. Easton does a good job of putting me back there, and he brought me down here. Just kept trying to build up to my base, build up to my knees, working on that hand control, just trying to not let him getting turned here. Getting hip separation was key here, so I just kept standing up. I knew I'd get there, tried to kick away, but he was resilient, kept the pressure on, but I kept moving, and that's how I got out. Here we got some more neutrals at the end of practice. Almost got the slide by there, but I don't know how he didn't give up too. But just took a lot of shots there. Nice little fast attack from Easton there. And then we can see on this throw, didn't end too well for me.
Well, good practice. Rocking the XEOs today, guys. Haven't worn these too much, but I think I'm definitely gonna wear them in season at some matches. But these shoes are too expensive if you want them. But unless you can find them on a Japanese website. One of the first practices, I guess, more on a calorie deficit. Pretty much the worst thing to have before competition, especially right away in the morning. Let's say you weigh in and you're wrestling. Do not have a ton of protein. From what I know, I believe all the blood rushes out of all of your energy, just kind of, and blood goes to your stomach because that's where all your protein is. And it's a great way to be really slow and they get drained. So do not do that. I don't suggest doing that. And I say that because for lunch, I pretty much had pulled beef, Wagyu. So I'm pretty much just rolling on that and some oatmeal, so a lot of protein in me. Definitely was not feeling fast at all, but more of, I guess, a technical practice on top and bottom. Both I need to get better at, clearly. I mean, just like everything. But overall, looks like we're gonna get, hey, shout out to one of the guys I wreck in box fights every day, but here's a breakdown.
Every way on three. 1, 2, 3, pivot away.
Practice done.
Finally back now after some class. Now for this market research class I'm in, it's scheduled for 3 hours and he always lets us out like 45 minutes into class, which is absolutely fine. I'll take that any day. But before I go into my wrestling schedule, my favorite duels coming up, and exactly where I'll be wrestling if you guys did want to come watch in person, I did want to give a really good introduction to my new sponsor, Gfuel. So they sent me a ton of stuff. So let's go into the unboxing. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about the brand. So if you guys don't know, Gfuel provides game-changing energy. It provides a powerful energy boost to enhance performance and endurance. Now they literally have over hundreds of flavors. Pac-Man here. Personally, I've had a ton of these already. This is one of my favorite flavors. Now Gfuel is a healthier energy drink alternative as it has zero sugar to reduce the risk of energy crashes. Now Gfuel provides a clean and sustainable source of energy without the jitters or crashes associated with other energy drinks. It's an ASMR channel now. Now, another cool thing that actually comes with their cups, the shaker is actually kind of built into the cup. Now, with Gfuel, it helps being laser focused. Gfuel helps athletes maintain mental clarity and even focus during intense training sessions. Now, another cool thing, it actually helps boost your metabolism. So really, the ingredients in Gfuel can help with your weight management and your overall well-being. So you got the powders, you got the cans. Jeez. Okay, what is this? Gfuel slushy maker? Looks like you can make your own energy slushies too. But one of my personal favorite things about Gfuel is something I never even knew, is that they have these protein puffs. I shared this on my Instagram story the other day, but in this little bag here, this whole thing, 28 grams, just about 1 ounce. It's got 130 calories, but 17 grams of protein. That's absurd. But does it pass the taste test? That's crazy. Protein puffs. So if you want to help support me and save some money on Gfuel products, you can use my code Cayden to get 20% off everything on their website. I'll be rocking with Gfuel all season. You can always find that in the link in the description below. So up on screen, you can see here is my wrestling schedule for the 2023 to 2024 wrestling season. Now, this is my 4th year competing at UW Parkside, but in reality, I really have 1 more year. So I'm not technically, I guess, a senior. I'll be probably, maybe a super senior then next year. But just simply on the school side, I'm just getting my undergrad in marketing. Of course, staying around for the 5 years helps me. With that, of course, I think I could redshirt this year and stay like a 6th year, but to be honest, I kind of want to get, my life going, and eventually, like all things, nothing lasts forever. Wrestling's not going to last forever. College isn't going to last forever, and I have to find my other revenues of what I'm going to do and stuff. So at the end of the day, we just got 2 more years, 2 more cracks at it. So starting up November 1st is our first duel. This is versus UW Whitewater, which if you guys know, gets pretty hectic. This one is an always instant one right off the bat. In past years, we actually had a tournament, which was the Stevens Point Open, and you guys absolutely love that video. Knocks out of the park every single year, but actually I'm not going to be wrestling at that, and that's going to be taking place after the Whitewater duel this year. And the reason that we're not wrestling at it this year, I guess kind of the main starters and whatnot, is basically because there's a lot of, I guess, duels that we need to be at our best at, and we're kind of training pretty much for our first open to be that Finley Open, which we'll talk about later here. But going back to November 1st, Whitewater. So that's a Wednesday. It's going to be at Whitewater. So you can see here on the screen, if it's highlighted, that means it's a conference matchup, which people in our conference, that's who pretty much we're going to have in regionals. And of course, that counts towards your conference title, which last year we were conference champions. We're undefeated in duels, which was absolutely awesome. So after Whitewater, Stevens Point, that's where other guys are going to go on the team, the red shirts and stuff like that. But then November 11th, the Saturday, at home, this is the Wisconsin Wrestling Showcase. So last year it was at Madison. We had the Badgers wrestling, us wrestling because Parkside's D2, and they had lacrosse, which was a D3 school. Now, unfortunately for this year, it was supposed to be held at Parkside, which it still is. It'll be at Parkside, but the Badgers aren't coming. I don't believe they could even secure a team for it, and we actually offered, this is what I was told, to wrestle the Badgers in a duel. So like D1 Badgers versus D2 Parkside, which I think could absolutely go crazy. That would be such a cool event, but I guess they didn't really see the upside for it. They didn't see it was worth it, but I completely disagree. I guess coming from us, we got nothing to lose, but I think that would have been really cool for 2 Wisconsin teams to go at it, especially the Badgers being D1. So that's going to be fun. We're going to be facing McKendree, same team as we did last year. I assume I'll have a similar opponent. Whitewater, I think I'll have a different opponent. I think that guy graduated, but I'll be wrestling 141, like always. After that, though, the next weekend, we got the Finley Open. So this is in Ohio. I actually got messaged a lot if I'll be at Finley, Ohio. Yes, I'll be there wrestling. I wasn't there wrestling last year. Well, I was there, but I wasn't wrestling because I was injured last year. So hopefully staying healthy, and I'll be there to compete. Super hyped for that. That's a tough one. A lot of NAIA guys, and I think also like D1 redshirts too are going to be there. So that's a fun one. But then we go to December 2nd. Now, the day before my brother's actually getting married, and it is around the same area, which is nice, but making 141 and having a whole tournament the next day, my mindset's not going to be at probably where it should. Also, my weight. So, I was talking, with Nick earlier this year and basically saying that, yeah, like that next day I'm going to have to wrestle. But he's like, no way you're wrestling. Like, your brother only gets married once. You're going to have, more wrestling tournaments to come, even if I have 2 years left of it. So at the end of the day, that's what it's going to be. I'm probably not going to be wrestling there. Most likely not. and it just doesn't make sense just to even go up to 149 and wrestle just because. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to be there still supporting the team. I think the team's going to do great there. So that's a home one. Then we go to the next week. We're traveling on the road. We got back-to-back duels. We got Augustana, which was a fun one. They're a tough team, but you know, we got them, of course. And then the next day, I believe that's another team, like a brand new team in Sioux Falls that we're wrestling against that is put in. I think they're a brand newer program. So that's a back-to-back. That'll be a fun weekend. And then the whole next week after that is the Midwest Classic. Now we're already dang near at the end of December. So Midwest Classic, I had a I'd say a pretty good showing. I ended up getting 8th place, which if you All-American there, it's clear that you're probably going to be ranked in the country. Really tough guys. I think at the time we had like the number 1 and number 2 guy at my weight there. A lot of other ranked guys. And even in my blood round match, I had to score like 4 takedowns in 40 seconds. And it was a killer. And I know for that tournament last year, my weight was just kind of, wasn't in it mentally with my weight, and it was just kind of tougher. So that's a big thing I'm focusing on this year. Really, at our apartment, I can, cook now and stuff and have a kitchen. So I think that's going to help tremendously. So we got the Midwest Classic there. Now after that, we have a bit of a break. It's the J term, so we really don't have school after that, which is awesome. I don't have school the entire month of January. This is where we go in. We're at home versus the University of Mary. Should be a fun one. Then we got Minot at home that next day. So a lot of double duels, which is crazy, but with that extra day, you get an extra pound, so that's always fun. Now that next weekend, Friday, January 19th, we're in Minnesota at Southwest Minnesota to take them on. Another conference then. That next week, we got MSUM, so at Moorhead. Last time we were at Moorhead, a lady flipped off one of our wrestlers, and she called my school asking to sue me. So that was interesting. So we'll be back there. And then that next day, another double duel versus Northern State at Northern State. I love personally going there. They have an awesome campus. It's like they got a big jumbotron and everything. So that's where regionals actually was. So in the regionals video, that's where that was. The hype for that. And then also looks like there's a new Claire open there for all the other redshirt guys as well. Now heading in to February 10th, we got St. Cloud at home, which last year, of course, they were unbeaten in duels, for 13 years until we took them out at their home, at their turf. But now we're bringing them back to the Den, and we got to defend the Den against them. That one's going to be a fun one. And then we got a whole week off, and then we have Mankato. So then we have another 2 weeks off. Break, and then that's where we have the Super Regionals, and the Super Regionals will be in Minot, North Dakota this year. Their place is actually really huge too, really huge. I remember at that time when we went to Minot, it was just freezing cold outside. Man, I wish it was like in Florida or something, but yeah, I remember that being really, really cold, and they have a gigantic arena. There was actually a women's freestyle duel beforehand, which was interesting. And then, so that's on March 2nd, and then given going to national championships, that's on March 15th to 16th. At Park City, Kansas. And this is like a 14-hour drive. So a little part of me hopes that we even fly. But yeah, the national championships will be in Kansas. I wish, come on, bring it to the Midwest, guys. So there's the schedule. If you guys would like to come to any of my duels, any of the tournaments, I'll be there. If you guys want to come to the duels or tournaments, super hyped to meet you guys. And of course, the goal remains the same, to be the national champion, the 141-pound D2 national champion. Last year, as you guys know, I went into the nationals ranked 2nd in the country, had a bye, then lost that round. And if I would have won that match, that's pretty much an instant All-American. But nothing compares to getting first. I can All-American, I can get 8th, I can get 7th, heck, I could get 4th. But what I want to do, what I want to accomplish is to be the top. Because if your goal isn't even to be the best, why even start in the first place? If you just joined wrestling, of course you can have that goal to be a state qualifier, to be a state placer, but why not go for the whole thing? Why not be like, you know what makes me different from that guy who was the past year's national champ, past year's state champ? If you want to accomplish it, freaking set out to do it. I got a gold card I wrote down, read this every single day. I got pictures of the trophy that I want to accomplish, that I want to hold, envisioning this moment over and over in my head. And it's all in the pursuit that matters, pursue to greatness. And that's where I'm going to end off this video, guys. If you guys would like to cop some Cayden Henschel merch, always pursuing greatness merch, actually, you can go to Barbell Apparel, linked in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to the patrons, and we'll see you guys next video.
Let me know if you on skate, rollin' with the gang, totally, man, you shake, totally with a gang.